Now the next thing would be our simple mapping. For that, I'm just going to to hide the chamfer box and to open this other element. Going to add again my checker map. Okay, and so I already said my primitives have a UV mapping by default, but every other object doesn't come with a map, and even though these are extended primitives, they already have a broken map. Okay, so in the last class we actually learned how to add a simple map just to do projections of a cylinder, box, and sphere, and this is in modifier. And I'm going to configure my set in UV coordinate modifier, so I have my buttons here available. So UV map, and the first map it takes is a planar, so I'm going to put it in a box. And if I click here, it's going into yellow. That means that I'm on the gizmo. Okay, if I click again here, it goes out. So if I go to the gizmo, I can actually move my my tile. Okay, I can also make my tile smaller or bigger here on the UV tile, or here on the length and width. Okay, there is another way I could do it. Once my gizmo is selected, if I press on R for scale, I could just scale it down. The problem is, if you observe at the right, the modification doesn't stay. Okay, so if I later on want to have exactly the same UV map or copy this without copying the UV map, it's better to do it here on the values, but this is up to you. In the same way, I can just have my gizmo selected and move this UV map. This is more useful when I have, for example, this kind of map. Okay, and I want this board to start precisely there. Let's say I'm going to make this one a bit bigger. Okay, and I want this board to be on the border. So I'll just move it all the way there. Okay, this is typical simple things that you do. And if I want to go back here, I have to unclick my gizmo. Let's check which map could be the best for this. Let's add the UV mapping and check for cylindrical, which is gonna kind of deform this here. Let's check if with a cap works. Sometimes spherical could be the best option for these cases. Shrink wrap works in other cases. For example, if I would have this texture again, then actually spherical works quite well. Okay, so it really depends on the texture and the shape and what you want to achieve. Okay, so this, obviously the UV mapping is for very simple projections. It's not meant to be a real UV unwrap, but for many objects in the background or simple objects, this is more than enough. Also, in this case, this texture is broken, but when you have a seamless texture, you actually don't see this so broken. Okay, and if I get closer, I see the seam, but at this length, I don't see the seam. So for those cases, it's when it's actually perfect. Okay.